Hello Year 11. This video is for students of Year 11 as well as parents and carers linked to Year 11. And it's about the final weeks of your time at Penrice and specifically about your qualifications and how we assess those qualifications. So it's been a little bit of time since the government made their most recent announcements, and we've been unpicking the implications of these announcements in order to formulate a plan that we feel works best for you. So Mr. O'Brien is going to be talking through that plan in detail for this video. Then to finish off, I'm going to be giving some final updates regarding some of the questions that I had when I saw a number of you when you came in for your testing over the last week around things like your end date and such.
Hello, my name is Mr. O'Brien. I'm Assistant Principal here at Penrice Academy. And following on from the government's recent announcement about how qualifications will be graded this academic year, we wanted to share with you how this process will work at Penrice. It's really important to remember what we've been asked to do by the government, which is to assess the performance of our students on content that they have had time to learn. We're not being asked to project or predict a grade that students would have got if exams had gone ahead, and we're not being asked to assess students on content that they have not had time to learn. The key word in that statement is assess our students' performance. Whilst this does not include a full examination process, it will involve students sitting some assessments in lessons with their teachers. The work that students have previously completed can and will be taken into account when we determine that final grade, but we will give more weighting towards assessments that they have sat recently with us in school. As a centre, we have to ensure a standardised approach to grading in each subject area. All grades will be determined by at least 2 teachers, with no individual teacher solely responsible for grading a student. So I wanted to take a little bit of time just to talk through how that process will look at Penrice. After our students return to us on the 15th of March, they will begin a process of sitting some in-class assessments with their teachers. Now, we want to make sure we do everything we can to prepare our students really well for this. So students will go through a cycle of having content retaught to them by their teachers, practicing questions and assessments, and then sitting the assessment. And that cycle will repeat in each subject area as we build a body of evidence about the grade that students are working at. Our subject teams will then mark and moderate those assessments, determining a grade that students are working at. Feeding into that process as well will be other sources of evidence, such as classwork and PPE results potentially. Some of our students have fantastic PPE results that will absolutely support their grade, and others have PPE results that aren't what they'd hoped for. And I don't want students to worry about the inclusion of those PPE results because we recognise that a number of our students make significant progress between PPEs and final outcomes. For vocational and technical qualifications, subjects with controlled assessment, your teachers will be communicating a plan of action to you when you return to make sure that we've got all the coursework we need completed, ready to be submitted by the deadline. For other subjects, teachers will be sharing plans with you about the assessments that you're going to be sitting and how those feed into that grading process when you return. The bulk of those in-school assessments for GCSE subjects will take place before May half term. From when we return, that's only 9 school weeks, which is 2 cycles of our 4-week timetable. Our subject teams have been planning really carefully how they're going to use that time really effectively and efficiently with Year 11 when they return, but it is only a short period of time. That's why attendance is absolutely essential in this final push for our Year 11 students. For those students who have engaged really well in their remote learning, that will absolutely set you up to excel in these upcoming in-school assessments. For those who have struggled to engage in remote learning, there is absolutely enough time for you to plan, prepare, and demonstrate your knowledge in these in-school assessments and improve on the position you're currently in. All of the processes that I've outlined and individual subject plans will be reviewed by exam boards to make sure they are fair, consistent, and robust. And that happens across the country as well to ensure grading is fair. And finally, I just wanted to reassure students that there is absolutely enough time for us to plan and prepare for those assessments that you're going to sit, making sure that you achieve your potential. As a school, we will do everything we possibly can to make sure we support and guide you through that process. As always, if you have questions, then please feel free to ask. Thank you very much.
So I hope you find that presentation useful. If you have more questions, don't forget you can ask us as you're in over the course of the week for testing, or on Friday when you're back with us for your first lessons. So I said I would mention end dates to you. Now we can't say with 100% confidence yet that this is your end date, but as Mr. O'Brien said, June the 18th is the date for us where we have to have submitted all of your assessments. So in all likelihood, your end date will be around that time, obviously, unless there are further government updates where they say a specific date. But we are thinking it's going to be very much around that time of June the 18th. So I will finish by saying once again, we are so looking forward to seeing you back with us on Friday, getting you back into the classrooms. It's important that we make sure every second counts in your final weeks at Penrice. But it's also a time where we will be celebrating the class of 2021's 5 years here with us. We have our raffle that will be starting as soon as you get back, alongside the yearbook, and also looking at other ways that we can celebrate your time with us, obviously under the restrictions that are still in place by the government, and they're in place for the whole of the remainder of your time here. But within those, we're looking to celebrate your time. So all the best with your final week of home learning. We look forward to seeing you during the week and with us at 8:30 on Friday the 12th of March.